let's jump right into it. Welcome to a brand new explainer. Today, we're tracking a massive, frankly, game-changing transformation in global connectivity. And to do this, we're drawing our blueprint directly from an incredibly insightful piece called The Last Wire Standing by edge compute and AI strategist Fani Bhushan-Athloor. For decades now, we've basically treated broadband as, well, a dumb plumbing pipe just buried into our streets. But what exactly happens when that pipe becomes an ambient, programmable, thinking platform? Okay, let's dive into this. Fani writes, when the air becomes smarter than the cable, broadband transforms from a pipe into an intelligent platform. And wow, that quote right there, that captures the absolute central thesis of our analysis today. We are permanently exiting the era where internet access is just defined by how fast a static cable pushes data to you. We're entering a reality where the network actively adapts to user behavior in real time. It's a complete fundamental rewrite of our digital infrastructure. So to really understand this shift, we're going to follow a four-part structural blueprint. First, the infrastructure disruption. Second, intelligence at the doorstep. Third, the network brain. And finally, the ultimate convergence. Okay, kicking things off with part one, the infrastructure disruption and how we're bypassing legacy limitations. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. For the longest time, delivering broadband meant literally digging trenches and pulling incredibly expensive fiber optic cables. It was a massive physical and financial constraint. But 5G fixed wireless access, or FWA, completely bypasses the trench. By beaming a signal directly from a 5G tower to a small unit on your house, deployment times collapse, from literally years down to mere days. It drastically lowers capital expenditures while allowing for incredibly rapid, flexible scaling. Now, if you're sitting there viewing this as just some temporary stopgap, think again. Ericsson is projecting a whopping 300 million FWA connections globally by 2028. Just wrap your head around that number. It proves this isn't a Band-Aid. It is absolutely the fastest growing segment in wireless broadband today. It's a genuine gigabit alternative that is fundamentally altering telecom economics. You can see how this is playing out across the globe right here. In the US, major players are scaling rapidly, using M-Wave for dense cities and sub-6 frequencies to get that broader reach. But this scale gets truly mind-bending when you look at places like India, where operators are targeting 500 million households. They're basically treating FWA as strategic national infrastructure to connect massive populations that laying physical fibers simply couldn't reach in time. Moving on to part two, intelligence at the doorstep, the residential gateway. So let's zoom in from that global map right to the micro level of your own home. If you follow the signal from the macro radio tower, it eventually lands at your house, hitting a device called the Customer Premises Equipment, or CPE. This right here is exactly where the magic of the 5G airwaves meets the reality of your living room. Crucially, this equipment acts as a residential gateway. Think of it as your digital front door. In the past, this was just a dumb modem indiscriminately pushing Wi-Fi around your house. But today, with modern homes rapidly exceeding 15 to 50 plus connected devices, this gateway has evolved. It's now an intelligent home edge node powered by embedded processors that are fully capable of running local edge AI inference. Let me paint a vivid picture of what this edge AI actually does in practice. Imagine a teenager in one room playing a highly competitive, cloud-based video game while a parent down the hall is on a critical, high-definition video call for work. The intelligent gateway recognizes both of those data streams instantly. It automatically puts the game on a low-latency network slice, absolutely guarantees the bandwidth for the video call, and actively deprioritizes background traffic, like your smart thermostat updating. It's literally broadband that thinks. And the best part? It does all of this without anyone touching a confusing settings page or calling IT support. Which brings us to part three, the network brain, Open RAN, and the RIC. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that to actually support all that doorstep intelligence we just talked about, the underlying network itself requires a massive upgrade. Enter the RAN Intelligent Controller, or the RIC. As a cornerstone of modern Open RAN architecture, the RIC basically takes those static, rigid radio towers of the past and injects them with a highly programmable intelligence layer. It's the invisible brain behind it all. The RIC achieves this through a pretty brilliant closed-loop optimization split. On one side, you have the non-real-time RIC. Think of this as the strategic brain. It operates over longer timescales like minutes or hours, analyzing massive amounts of data to set long-term policies and handle capacity planning. Then on the other side, you have the near real-time RIC. This is the tactical execution arm. It operates in milliseconds to actually enforce those policies, perfectly balancing the load and mitigating any network interference right on the fly. Together, these controllers turn raw radio waves into what Fanny Othler brilliantly calls intelligent air. What this means is the network can actually dynamically steer a radio beam to cut through heavy foliage or a sudden rainstorm just to maintain your connection perfectly. It anticipates network ingestion before it even happens, adjusting everything seamlessly without a single human engineer ever having to manually intervene. Zooming back out, we hit part 4, the ultimate convergence, MEC, 6G, and the intelligent edge. To actually make this massive convergence happen, networks have to rely on multi-access edge computing, or MEC. By pushing massive cloud compute resources physically closer to the subscriber, essentially bringing the cloud right to the base of the cell tower, latency plummets to single-digit milliseconds. This is the exact digital nervous system required to unlock things like real-time AR metaverse experiences, completely nausea-free cloud gaming, and even remote robotic surgery. It's a real game changer. When you look back at it, the historical evolution here is so clear. Step 1, we started with the pure wired connectivity of DSL and cable. Step 2 brought us basic wireless with 4G. Step 3 delivered gigabit speeds via high-performance 5G FWA. And now? Now we are moving decisively into Step 4, the intelligent edge platform. This is where we synthesize 5G, MEC, the RIC, and Edge AI into one incredibly powerful ecosystem. Let's move to the next visual and see exactly how this builds. This shift means you aren't just gaining speed anymore, you are gaining immense value. The network stops acting as a dumb pipe, merely selling gigabytes of data. Instead, the base station effectively transforms into a localized microcloud. This allows operators to actually guarantee service outcomes and seamlessly host AI applications right there at the edge. And if we look just over the horizon towards 6G, this concept completely takes over. We're talking about autonomous, AI-native networks that will entirely dissolve the boundary between data centers and telecom networks. Connectivity will simply become this ambient, programmable API layer that a smart city, a local hospital, or a gaming company can just tap into instantly. Let's wrap up with Section 5, the smarter air, bridging the cloud and the sensor. The true beauty of this entire architecture is how it connects the extremes. What we are building is a continuous, intelligent network that stretches all the way from the massive cloud data centers, down through the telecom edge, and all the way to tiny microcontrollers and small language models running on sensors right inside your home. It creates brilliance at absolutely every single layer. As Fanny Othler perfectly states to sum this all up, the air is getting smarter, and the world it connects will be transformed by it. Broadband is no longer just infrastructure, folks. It is a dynamic, thinking service that is actively optimizing our digital lives. So, I want to leave you with this provocative question to chew on. As your digital front door becomes a fully AI-powered gateway, how will this new network intelligence reshape the broadband services you rely on every single day? Drop your thoughts, your experiences, and your predictions in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.